creators are now transitioning from just being creators to now building businesses.
Yeah.
Like really why we started this podcast was to like help facilitate people in that understanding and how to like actually make that happen. Because when I look at South Africa, the biggest challenge that we have as young people is unemployment. So the solution to that is creating jobs, and the best way to create jobs is to create businesses.
Yeah.
So to see you like going in the world and like creating that business around something that you're passionate about and something that you enjoy, and being able to offer opportunities to other people, is like seeing it happen in real time is really cool to see. So big ups to you for doing that, bro.
I have a question for you. What are your goals for this year?
Damn.
I like people putting their stuff out there so they hold themselves accountable.
I love that too. You know, when you mentioned your goals and you were saying like the numbers behind it, I was like, damn, he's actually like putting it out there against the world. And yeah, it's a good way to do it because you kind of hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
I can tell that's like a huge like value that you have,
Yeah.
accountability. But for me, you know, our goals, we run a digital marketing agency behind the podcast, right? So most of my goals fall within that, right? So we want to increase our revenue this year. We've got a goal in terms of what, I'm not going to put the numbers out there because those are financial numbers. But yeah, we want to increase our revenue. Just to give you some context, last year we were able to increase our revenue by over 80%. So I know it's a really good year for us. So, and you know, a lot of that came from our podcast, right? Yeah. Not in the sense of like, because people look at our podcast, they're like, oh, you don't have a lot of numbers. So like, I'm not going to pay attention to this because people seem to put a lot of attention on numbers. But, you know, content is a tool and it depends how you use the tool. If you're using it to get impressions and to get big numbers, then for sure. If you're using it as a way to get clients, to build your network, convert those clients into paying people that are going to sustain your business, then that's going to be a different use of the tool. So it's how we've used the podcast, and that's helped us grow our business. So we want to continue that growth in terms of our business. And then in terms of the podcast, right? So like I mentioned, last year, beginning of the year, bro, I didn't know how I was going to pay my rents, dude. Jeez. Like, yeah, it was like what was it, 2020, end of 2023, our main client called me up and said, hey, we're struggling financially. We're not going to be able to pay you next month. So it put me in like survival mode. And then from there, we managed to like grow throughout last year.
Yeah.
But now that we're at the point where, you know, we've got a level of sustainability, we've got a little bit of runway to work with, I really want to shift the podcast from being a tool to grow our business to also being a tool that offers educational information and knowledge to people that are interested in the creative space and want to find ways to monetize their creativity. So you'll see a lot of the content that we're putting out is going to start shifting in that direction. And we're also looking at landing some partnerships that are going to help us, you know, build that out going further. So yeah, that's
cool.
Kind of my goals in a nutshell.